welcome back to my channel. My name is Petra, and today I want to talk about why I'm never discussing slavery with my child. This is not about me running away from anything, running away from things that have happened, not at all. I just think it is my personal belief that it is not necessary to disempower my child. I remember how I felt very well when I watched the movies. The most recent one that I watched was 12 Years a Slave, and that was a long time ago, but I still remember how I felt, how disempowered I felt, how angry I felt, and the resentment I had against white people. And how does that help me? How does that serve me in my life? In no way at all. Should a situation come up where the conversation is necessary, then it would be had, but in a constructive way. I'm not gonna sit there and tell my child, sit down, let's watch this movie and see how these white people treated us, treated some of our parents, um and talk about things that people are going through and shootings. And I don't want my child walking in the world feeling like a no one, like a small person, like an outcast, like someone who is in danger. Because where you focus your attention, you make the energy grow. Energy just explodes when you focus on it, and there's enough people focusing on that. Enough people focusing on that, and I'm not gonna add my own energy to that. I do. And I'm very happy that I do not live in the US. I would, although there's a part of me maybe that would like that, but no. I'm very happy that I do not live in the United States, because there you would probably a little bit need to have the conversation because of the way that things are structured. And yeah, but since I don't live there, I'm not going to have the conversation. I'm going to empower my child, expose her to all of the amazing black people that have done amazing things, because that's my issue with this whole thing. Let us as adults digest whatever needs to be digested, and let the children breathe. Let the children breathe. They don't need to suffocate with all this nonsense. And yes, it's very real. It's happening in many places around the world. People are facing injustices and crazy things that we would never even be able to imagine could be possible in this day and age. But how is it helping to sit and have your children watch movies like 12 Years a Slave? How good does that make anyone feel? And we've learned that humans learn better when they're through pleasure and not through pain. And yes, pain is a very, very powerful teacher, but it also creates destructive patterns. And I would rather expose my child to amazing black people and take her to the amazing museums. And I don't know if you say museum in English, but it sounds like that's the way it's supposed to be said. Yeah. So like I was saying, I would rather expose my daughter to amazing art and amazing soul nourishing information, good music, because some of the same people that will spend their entire days talking about um, racism and all these things that have happened. Children are not born racist. They're made racist by the environments in which they are. And I understand that very well. And my job is to preserve my child, preserve her happiness. And when she's old enough and has a strong sense of self, then maybe if she's interested in that, we could talk about it. We could look into some information, but the movies are not necessary because movies are just programming. I'm not gonna program my child into that programming. No, I'm not contributing to the matrix that way. That ain't happening. And I really think that, yeah, all parents do the best they can, um, based on what they know. But I think that as parents, we really need to heal ourselves, heal the pain that we have in our hearts, heal it so that we don't transfer it. Because even if racism is real in the world, we can still live happy. Yeah, we can still live happily and with a strong sense of self and walk with our heads on our shoulders. And I can speak about this healing aspect because I've heard a lot of so many times. I live in Germany, and I've heard several people say to me, "Oh, I went to this place, and for the first time, I didn't feel black like I do in Germany." Um, and sure, there are racist people, but you only feel black, and feel black is a, you know what I'm talking. You probably know what I'm talking about. I don't think I need to explain that. You only feel black because you think you're black and your blackness is not enough. I don't feel black. I am black and I am enough and I am good enough and I am amazing and nothing can make me feel down. And if I should encounter, and which doesn't happen because it's just not in my vibrational wavelength, and if it should happen and I'm angry or I'm hurt, I will feel whatever I'm feeling and then it would flow through me and it will be done. But we need to stop this. It's just my personal opinion. We need to stop perpetuating the story because in the end it's a story. It's a story. We have only one promise when we're born on this planet. I don't know who said this. I can't really remember. Um, but this person said that there is only one promise when you're born, and that is that you're gonna die. You might as well live fully and joyfully and strive to live your best life and unlock your gifts and be the amazing person that you were born to be. We can't spend our lives having 6 hour conversations. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. Or say 2 hour conversations and 6 hours scrolling experiences focused on all the negativity that is happening in the world. There is enough of it. There is more than enough of it. Why contribute to it? Why? Let's be the lights. Stop talking about, oh, we need the world to change. We need this, we need that. And yeah, the world has a bunch of things that it could change. But in the meantime, how are you bringing lights into the world? If all you do, if all we do is sit on social media and have all these fights, all these arguments, and create this all this big ball of negative energy that is just creating and recreating the same negative circumstances that we're fighting against. Because when you fight against someone, um, I don't know if I can find these quotes. I'm gonna paraphrase here and paraphrase very carefully. This quote says that I read it in a book from Neville Goddard and somewhere else as well. But it says that whatever you criticize, you activate in your own consciousness and you eventually become. So when you criticize someone very with all your heart and your soul and you put all your energy into it, you're activating that in your own consciousness and you're going to become that. Because remember, we are one. We are one. And I also heard Abraham Hicks say that when you will, I'm paraphrasing, when we understand how life works, we're going to watch two people having a hateful conversation full of hate and anger, and we're going to hold them in the lights and see only love because we have been there. and we would understand that they haven't gotten it yet, and that's why they are being that way. And there's nothing wrong with that, because they are learning, because life is an experience. It's school. It's a school. So I just personally think that it would be a disservice to me, to my being, to spend my energy, my my amazing energy of my limited life experience, focusing on everything someone else has done to me. And it's good to know. It's good to know. At some point, it's important to know maybe your history and stuff, but I can't spend my energy in that. My energy deserves to be spent on me and my goals and my desires and the things that I want for my life. So I can't. And I don't think it makes sense for anyone. Because if we're sitting there, if I'm gonna sit somewhere and talk for 3 hours about slavery, which I've done, believe me, so and talk about that, I had better have $1 million sitting on my bank account for me to spend in whatever way I want and more money coming in. Else, it's a waste of energy and it's too expensive. It's too expensive. We spend energy expensively and dangerously without even realizing it. It's too expensive. It's too expensive. That energy could have been spent thinking about how we can buy real estate, learning how to buy real estate, how we could manifest better jobs, how to manifest better lives, how to be better parents for our children so that they can have a strong sense of self, what we need to expose our children to so that they do not fall into drugs and all sorts of crazy behaviors. I think my energy would be better spent in those things. Um, and one last thing that I just want to add in here, I know that hip hop music was created by Black people, by us, the amazing, talented individuals that we are. However, however, I was gonna say I'm gonna recommend, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say that I have chosen to protect my child from hip hop. From, I'm not gonna name any name, but I'm gonna protect my child from that and never expose her to that unless it happens somewhere outside, because it is degrading, it is destroying us, and creating a skewed view of what women are in society, of how women should be. And I want to, I don't even want to talk about this today. You know what I mean. If you're watching this, you know what I mean. I'm going to protect my child from that. Let's talk about what, briefly, on the other hand, since we like to do the race thing and white people this, white people that, what do white people listen to? What kind of music? I'm not talking about the new age. Oh my God, it's not very easy talking in a very, in a society where everything you say can be taken in a strange way. Okay, the poor white people, and I don't mean this in a bad way, the people that have less money to spend in the white community, what kind of music do they listen to? Suddenly, they listen to the same kind of music that black people listen to. They're sort of exposed. They're in the same pool. They're in the same pool. What do the higher classes, middle class and higher classes of white and black people listen to? They listen to classical music, jazz music. Um, what was the other name? Is it blues? But they don't listen to all this loud shouting, degrading lyrics, and no, they listen to music that actually is good for the brain and stimulates the brain and stimulates creativity and all these amazing things. While on the other hand, we have a group of people listening to music that is has been proven. Actually, you should just do some research on how music affects the brain. Like there's amazing scientists that have um, documentaries on how it affects the waves of the brain and makes you dumb. Literally makes you dumb. Oh my god. It's I'm laughing, but when I first um found out about all this, it made me really sad. It made me really, really, really sad. Really sad. And also as a people, and I'm not talking about black people, I'm talking about as a people, as a humans that have, if we have a little tiny bit of brain cells left, we should not expose our children to that kind of music. Like, I don't understand that. I don't get it. Well, I get it, but it's very shocking to me still when I find that people listen to pop music with their children, those kinds of videos. And I don't want to name any names, but some crazy things that we allow our children to watch in music videos that in my childhood, just 1/10 of that, my parents would have just turned off the TV and disconnected it completely and cut the cable, everything. But today, it's the norm. And we're wondering what is happening outdoors. We're wondering what's happening outdoors. It's really crazy. We need to, our parents, our children came to us. And I strongly believe that children parents us more than we can ever parent them. They're here, they bring amazing energy, new energy. They help us to understand ourselves better if we're open to it. However, we are here to make sure that they do not become adulterated like we did. Are we succeeding at this or are we failing massively? Is the question that we have to ask ourselves daily. And not to guilt ourselves, because guilt is a very low vibration energy that it's so unnecessary. Just get rid of it. Just ask yourself, let's ask ourselves in an objective way to really get the answer. And if the answer is that we're not serving our children the way that we're supposed to do it, and keeping them away from things that are just going to make their lives more difficult or make their lives extremely difficult, not more difficult, um, then we should figure out ways on how to do that, how to expose them to inspiring information and more amazing things. And it doesn't have to cost money. Like classical music on YouTube is free as far as as far as I know. It's so free. And there's amazing channels where it goes on for hours and hours and hours without ads on them. If you don't like classical music, try jazz. And try something else. Like even if you listen, you could love pop music, and that's no problem, no hate. But be careful about the lyrics that your children or our children are absorbing, especially when they're still in this very hypnotic state, when they just absorb everything and the brain doesn't even can't even analyze anything. It just, well, it works for adults as well, the same when it comes to music because of the way that it's structured and repetitive lyrics, and we sing, oh, I can't live without you, I would die if you leave me, and you wonder why the moment the guy moves you want to die. Please. Anyways, I rest my case. Thank you for what oh my god, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next. Bye.